the bag, right? I see you hitting them when you walk. I want you to do like this with them. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2.
You know, we got in the ring. He was so locked in. I was so locked in. Like, there was nothing really to say. We both locked in and we both focused on the task at hand. But man, it was dope. It was dope. You know, it was a dream.
Canelo will be destroyed by Crawford. Yes, you heard correctly. Those were Mike Tyson's first remarks following his training with Bud. This is when things get wild. It wasn't just Tyson who spoke on the sofa. Iron Mike actually moved around with Bud, trained with him, and observed the talents firsthand. Tyson dissected it in his own manner. Canelo may hit like a truck, but he asserts that trucks are powerful. They're not quick. Mike reminded everyone that he used to be the quickest heavyweight known to man. Additionally, he sees the same thing in Bud. Explosive speed combined with a lethal advantage. But it's more than just speed. Crawford has the mind of a taskmaster, according to Tyson, who breaks down opponents like riddles and creates obstacles they can't get out of. Bud is therefore 2 moves ahead of Canelo, outwitting him at every turn as he loads up heavy artillery.
3 divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. What do you make of that? Is that a good idea?
Hey, listen, to him, it is. So what does anybody care about what I say? It's only about what he think and feel. He's the king. Just know, I'm the biggest fan Terence had. But, you know, listen, if he goes in the middle of Siberia, no one knows who he is.
Since we've all witnessed what Canelo does when he's in beast mode, I must admit that hearing Tyson say that makes you pause and consider. He's a jerk. You can sense it if he touches you cleanly. Here's the problem, though. It's not simply about power in boxing. It all comes down to timing, rhythm, and outwitting the opposition. And Bud strikes me as a boxer who is capable of doing anything. Change positions, read you like a book, and dissect you in detail.
I don't care how great the teacher, I had a masterful teacher, but if you want to be the best, you watch the best. You look at the best. You know, you watch them and you have their lifestyle. Don't be like this, have their lifestyle. And that's what it's all about, have the lifestyle.
We cannot overlook the disparity in stature, and on fight night, Canelo will likely weigh in at 185 to 190. But we might be witnessing history if Crawford maintains that pace and remains focused. I mean, all of us, including you and me, we might be seeing one of those occasions when the world is shocked and the smaller man rewrites the rules. As if Iron Mike's yelling at Bud the Taskmaster while holding his hands wasn't insane enough. Stephen A. Smith enters the ring wearing his mouthpiece. He didn't even pause, bro.
Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight.
The man said, "I'm not hesitating, Crawford." He picked up the Bud faster than I do when I get extra fries at McDonald's, buddy. Additionally, Canelo's neck is as broad as Broadway when Stephen A. calls him. He's right. So I spit out my drink. Even though Canelo is constructed like a red brick wall, it seems like he always gets hit with a haymaker. Don't fly against Bud, as we are aware.
The love for boxing.
Yes, love boxing.
Who gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fighter in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating, Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September?
I will tell you the truth now. When Stephen A. stated that there would be trouble if Bud attempted to stand and trade, he was preaching. Bringing Uno cards to a poker game is analogous to that. It's simply not smart. He reiterated, however, that Bud's speed, switch hitting, and intelligence will surpass Canelo Roof. I thought we all had to acknowledge it. You and I. Stephen A.'s assurance that Crawford would defeat Canelo without hesitation makes you want to grab some popcorn, call off plans, and binge watch history.
Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat
Crawford, I'm not hesitating, yelled Stephen A. as he stormed in, and then Shaw Porter slid in with the actual receipts. See, we can argue in the barbershop, but Porter, he said as he pulled up to Bud's gym, where he had front row and VIP access to the sparring sessions. Furthermore, he stated, "I liked everything I saw." That is an informal conversation that almost amounts to a previous champion giving Crawford a 5-star Yelp review prior to his fight with Canelo. I am also aware of your thoughts. Canelo is a tank, indeed. Granite chins have destructive force.
As a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's...
However, buds are sparring with large guys weighing more than 200 pounds and still looking good when Porter tells us this. That has a distinct impact. Let's be honest. Crawford has cooked smaller men, as you and I have all witnessed. But we now know that he's been putting his skills to the test against the camp's top players. It's not a diet battle. That's a lot of seasoning. It almost seems as like Bud is practicing to crack boxing mass itself, rather than simply for Canelo, given the way Porter broke it down. Because someone will be walking out in astonishment if he matches Canelo's tremendous power with the same quickness, intelligence, and composure. It's not just the fans, either.
Yeah, big guys. Guys that were, right around the 6-foot mark. Guys that were right around that 200-pound mark. Nothing new for...
Okay, have a look at this. Wade Plemons interrupts Sean Porter's comment about Bud's appearing to be skilled at sparring with older lads, turning the entire conversation from fist to business. And he isn't lying, to be honest, because we can debate chin, speed, and power all day long, you and I. Let's be honest, though, it's not simply about who wins this battle. It concerns who will take boxing into the future. Ring Magazine, Netflix contract, etc. This bout is essentially boxing's way of getting to sit at the NFL and NBA's cool kids lunch table. I'm here for it, too.
Family, friends, the whole team. Everybody staying in the same house, eating the same food. It's comfortable. But for someone who's been uncomfortable for a long time, he knows how to balance it, you know what I mean? And so I like everything that I saw from Crawford.
Wade's angle is also quite effective. He is making it clear that this battle is about more than just Bud versus Canelo. It concerns whether boxing can at last straighten out and regain its status as a major event sport. We all gripe about boxing only appearing once every few months with a major bout, don't we? Wade suggests that this might be the reset button. Boxing stock is expected to rise if this one lands. People will criticize the sport more than a poorly executed Netflix revival if it doesn't. In any case, we hit the mark. This is a boxer's legacy, but boxing as a whole is in survival mode.
On the line for Bud Crawford moving all the way up. I don't know if it's Canelo having this rejuvenation and this refocused mindset and attitude toward this fight to once again, even though he doesn't really need to prove that he's one of the greatest ever, once again taking that challenge.
Okay, so Wade had us viewing this bout as a crucial chess move for future of boxing. Coach Anthony then interrupts to remind us to remove the Netflix promotions, take away the excitement. Someone still has to take punches in that ring at the end of the day. And the way Coach worded it, man, he's essentially telling Canelo not to sleep. Bud poses a direct threat. And I believe it because if you and I are being honest, Crawford isn't showing up to spar with the greatest of all time. He will completely alter the script. Additionally, Coach Anani's collapse brutal yet accurate. Even if Canelo is constructed like a brick wall, graffiti can still be applied to walls. Additionally, Bud is the kind of guy who will paint his initials on it in the middle of the battle. We cannot operate as though fighting is won by size alone. Everybody has witnessed little dogs gnawing on the brakes of larger ones.
Scale for what boxing's new era is going to be and stepping into a new plane and becoming, a sport that is refocused, especially here in America, as one of the big sports that we want to.
Because Bud's conclusion is more terrifying than whatever bench press figure Canelo is displaying. I'm telling you that we should treat this as a 50-50 THS. And in my opinion, Coach Anthony just validated what many of us already know in our hearts. It's not about size in this fight. It concerns who is more intelligent when the fire is burning. Okay, family, we just finished Tyson's call to Bud the Taskmaster. Without hesitating, Stephen A. yelled at Crawford. Porter reviews the gym with 5 stars. We are discussing the future of boxing. Additionally, Coach Anthony cautions Canelo from becoming overly relaxed. Ultimately, you and I both understand that this fight is about more than just fists. It's about pride, intelligence, legacy, as well as the entire prestige of athletics at stake. Now, though, I'd like to hear from everyone. With whom are you riding? Which team? Team Bud, the chess-playing assassin, or Team Canelo, the granite chin tank? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments. Let's cut it short. Remember to subscribe, like, and share.
The threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to that. Canelo's also lost before. He knows how to lose. Okay, Crawford doesn't.
Canelo, the granite chin tank. Post your ideas in the space provided for comments. Let's cut it short. Remember to subscribe, like, and share.